Agenda would be to basically touch upon some of the key trends happening in the security market, and then go over how Spirent can basically help the customers to mitigate the risks or the security vulnerabilities what we see on the market, how we can basically help our customers to make a plan and create a framework where they can basically continuously assess the security infrastructure, and then even on on-demand basis, how we can basically help them to create a security program, right? So very quick introduction about Spirent. It's basically headquartered in UK, and we have 1,500 plus global customers. And basically, we spend a lot of money in research and development. As you can see, we basically spend over 100 millions to basically invest on the new technologies, and we work across multiple domains ranging from automation or emulation of datacom network, telco network, or even positioning technologies. And we do have the test automation, where actually we can actually completely automate any kind of redundant manual work that is basically that takes a lot of money and effort, right? And we do provide analytics based on the whether be it cloud services or any sort of security analytics. We have our own security consulting wing, where we basically we go and do active security assessment, and we provide the security review basically. Yeah. So I would like to touch upon how the security attacks are actually happening, and how it is basically kind of it is on the increasing trend, right? As you can see, year on year, it's basically exponentially it's growing. Right now, it is as per Ponemon Institute on data breach study. So they have come out with this statistics, where it says like 300% growth in, increase in ransomware attacks. And then the information-based security incidents have basically gone up to 66 percentage, and the 25% of chance that your organization will be actually breached over next to 24 months. Actually, it's one fourth. There is a possibility of 1/4 of the percentage where any organization would be basically kind of would be forced to basically go through a breach, right? So with respect to the cost behind solving any breach, right, it comes to 550K. So this is something actually very alarming, and this is where Spirent comes into picture to see what is happening, how this ransomware attacks are happening, and how we can basically replicate those kind of breaches, and how we can basically emulate those very hyper realistic network attacks, and then see whether the security infrastructure in place is capable enough to stop those attacks and be vulnerability free, right? So that is the core idea behind this webinar. So here there is some of the areas where we have actually kind of taken a survey, where lack of skilled staff, where there is a huge gap, where there is no proper cyber security skill. That in turn basically leads to misconfiguration, or the problem with diagnosing a problem, or root cause analysis. There are so many things, right? So and also this is more of a manual effort, right? So this is also going on increasing, where you can see above 60% there is a skill shortage, and there is a lack of automation and orchestration. That is again a key issue we have seen, and there are too many tools basically to get integrated when it comes to automation, orchestration, and there are so many tools, right? Security tools like malware analysis, malware analyzer, perimeter security control, endpoint detection and response. There are so many tools in place. So to integrate everything and to make a holistic security review program is something really needed now. And there are so many processes that have to be followed. Say there is some DDoS attack happening, right? So there has to be a proper playbook how it can be basically mitigated and how we can come out of that uh, attack if at all there is a DDoS attack or a ransomware attack or a malware attack, right? So there has to be a proper approach to handle these scenarios, right? So in all these areas, actually, Spirent comes and plays a key role, and it helps customer to basically educate them on the need for security testing and how the automation and orchestration helps them to reduce the time to basically to respond to an attack, and how many tools can be integrated and can be tested all in one single platform, right? Like you say you have your internet zone, Wi-Fi zone, and you have many more zones, right? Each zone has their own policies. So moving from one zone to the other zone, there is always a policy, right? So how we can basically validate that the trusted user going from inside to outside, what level of privileges he has and what level of data he can access from public to inside, right? So that is again what kind of access he is entitled to, right? So all these kind of scenarios can be basically tested with the Spirent platform that I'm going to discuss in the coming slides. Yeah, so Spirent, at Spirent, we basically we have a huge number of patents with respect to network and security performance validation. So we have our platform that can basically create or emulate very realistic traffic patterns, be it video traffic or data traffic, audio traffic, or security traffic, like malwares or CV-based attacks or CC, command and control based attacks. So all these things actually you can actually create in one single profile, and then you can actually test it across multiple security controls. So we work with all network equipment manufacturers. We call them NEMs basically. We play a role in lab validation where firewall, next-gen firewall, intrusion prevention systems, web proxy, email proxy, VPN concentrators, SSL gateways, then service gateways like where deep packet inspection happens and it applies policy enforcement across different subscribers. So these are some of the key use cases we help our customers to validate them, and they use our platform in their lab to create the data sheet for both performance validation as well as security efficacy of any solution basically. So yeah, so these are the OEMs basically. They develop the technology. When we say security, Cisco, Juniper, Checkpoint, Fortinet, all this Palo Alto, all these vendors, they develop the latest technology right from TLS 1.2, TLS 1.3, or their own custom SSL VPNs or IPsec tunnels. So they keep on developing the technologies, right? So we help them to test the platform, their security control platform, and it moves to the consumer side where operators use it to basically to control the subscribers flow. And when it comes to enterprises, we work with many of the banks to banks which has a laboratory to labs to validate or in a pre-deployment mode, or if they want to basically kind of a benchmark which vendor is actually superior in terms of performance and efficacy. We play a key role there. We help enterprise customers in BFSI sector to help them get a better negotiation power to decide which vendor is really good to go with, right? So added to that, we do have our security consulting division where we do security reviews and security audit for them across multiple domains such as mobile application, web application, source code analysis, device testing. We do have all kind of security testing that I'm actually going to cover in the next slides. So I would like to basically just to touch upon the need for testing, right? Why we need to basically test it. There are so many services, and when you are actually upgrading from one, maybe from on-prem solution to going to cloud, and you may have to basically use their infrastructure as a service or platform as a service or software as a service, or you may be actually using the same kind of services that are there in your on-prem and you are migrating to the cloud, right? So that's where actually you have to test it and see whether the performance is really up to the mark and there is no degradation when you move from on-prem to cloud-based solution, right? So that is where we come and play a role with respect to creating a different kind of workloads. When it comes to security controls, we can actually validate any kind of policies. The key thing with respect to security control, like next-gen firewall, they mainly concentrate on the security blades handle many features like URL filtering, IPS, then spyware, and email gateway. It basically it has numerous features, right? So when you enable all these features, the performance actually goes for a toss. So there has to be a way to measure the performance by enabling all the blades and then still check how the security efficacy really works, and then is there any performance deterioration, right? So we have to basically devise a plan where we can actually emulate the network and we can emulate at the same time the realistic network traffic pattern. Like if at all there is a packet loss, or there is a corrupted packet, or there is a slowness in the server, right? So all these scenarios we can actually emulate it to see how the system under test is actually really behaving. You can really characterize the system under test by mimicking or by imitating this networks, different kind of networks and different kind of impairments, right? So the whole thing has to be flexible enough to get automated, right? With our automation platform, the whole thing, once it is done and the device, once we devise the automation, the plan, right? It can be completely automated with the Spirent platform. And these are the two key areas we address basically. Performance management is something, and then the other one is basically security assessment across all the security controls in a security infrastructure. So this is actually, if you look at this diagram, you can easily understand how the current state is, where actually the high dependency is on the vendor assessment, whereas on the right side, this is what we basically propose to our customers, where actually we can really, you can pick your own attacks and see, you can pick your own applications and see how the performance is. Say like you have a service gateway, and you want to basically validate 1,000 applications which are actually encrypted over SSL, and you want to see whether they are really up to the mark. or what level of quality of experience and quality of service you are getting when you have so many applications, right? So with Spirent's platform, you have a way to create that kind of a traffic model where you can actually add many more applications. On top of it, you can add the different kind of attacks and see really how the system under test really behaves, right? So this is something you can actually proactively do a testing and then see where you stand with respect to the security performance and security efficacy. So I would like to reiterate there are two things which I discussed basically. Cyberflood is our platform that is predominantly used in lab environment, where they basically, if you look at it, the development cycle SDLC, where you see many more new security technologies coming in. HTTP3, that is actually used for video streaming. Then you see IPsec and SSL VPNs getting developed across different vendors, next gen firewall vendors. Video is something, it keeps on actually growing. Post COVID, there is a huge usage in video, and also the security also has become a huge challenge, right? So TLS 1.3 is also kind of coming up, where it basically it increases the speed of the user interaction between the HTTP client and the server, at the same time without compromising the security aspects, right? So all these things actually we work on all these areas. And when it comes to lab validation, that is where actually we can create a different kind of profiles to validate any solution. You can see over here we have 22,000 plus applications and protocols, 75,000 plus malwares, and more than 5,000 plus CV based attacks. So all these are actually it's really, if you look at it as a manually, if you want to assess a security solution, right, security infrastructure like IPS, McAfee, take any McAfee IPS or Checkpoint next gen firewall. So how you can basically validate whether it can really do the job for your environment. Your environment may have different kind of applications. It may have a FTP server, or it may have a mail server. So we help to create that kind of application clients at a scale, like 1 million HTTP users is something we can actually create it. Something like a 10 million FTP users is something we can actually create it. Apple video users, or you name any kind of applications or layer 4 protocols, we can actually create all those kind of protocols and applications to benchmark and test the efficacy of the solution. The third one I would like to touch upon is basically anything that comes across with testing should have a standard. Without a standard, there is no point in actually, it becomes endless, right? So NetSec Open is the standard to benchmark a security solution. In the recent times, actually, it is becoming a common framework, where this defines the perimeter next enterprise traffic mix. As you can see, these are the applications which are actually used by any enterprise, and Cyberflood platform has all those applications which are using their own SSL certificates. Basically, they are SSL encrypted. So if you are actually, if you want to really test a next gen firewall that is deployed in enterprise, you would need a application mix like this. This is just one of the test cases I am showing. There are more than 80 plus test cases are there in NetSec Open suite of test cases, which are already part of Cyberflood. There are many vendors who are actually part of this NetSec Open consortium. To name a few, Fortinet, SonicWall, Cisco, Checkpoint, All these vendors are part of this NetSec Open consortium. So we have already published reports on this NetSec Open test cases. You can actually visit netsecopen.org to know more about this one. If you want to get more details about it, maybe after the webinar, if you reach us out, we can definitely help you get more details on this, why this standard is required, and how this is driving the market when it comes to security efficacy validation. Yeah, so when it comes to security assessment, right? So as I was mentioning, Security Labs is our security consulting division where we have top-notch experts who basically who do security assessment on the field for all our customers in different kind of fields like mobile telco operators, or a bank, or even any enterprise like the restaurant chain who have different kind of applications for their partners or for their customers. So we basically we work across different customer profiles, and when it comes to the telco, we have an edge on 5G security testing. The reason being, we do have our own 5G core functionality testing and performance testing, right? So we know the technology behind 5G, right? How NFV is actually driving 5G, how those components can be tested with 5G. With 5G is something actually we have an upper edge. Spirent is one vendor where actually you get everything, right? From all the components in 5G applications or 5G core, or even the IoT applications, IoT devices. So we do penetration testing and vulnerability assessment for all these components in a 5G ecosystem. So when it comes to the cloud migration, right, there are so many, all the traditional on-prem based solutions are actually moving towards the cloud to basically to get their setup very scalable, right? So that they can actually increase their revenue. So we do see that there is a good trend that is happening where many enterprises are actually moving to cloud. So when you move to cloud, definitely you need to basically validate whether it is really up to the mark. Where before you go live, you need to see is there any glitches in user experience, service experience, right? So that is where our platform CyberFlood, it can basically, it runs on Google Cloud, it runs on Amazon, and it runs on Microsoft Azure as well, right? You can easily spin up multiple instances of this CyberFlood and create an application workload and then test it, whether it really basically, it can handle that many concurrency. For example, we were actually, I'm currently working for a bank. They want to basically move their complete on-prem infrastructure to Google Cloud, basically GCP. So they have their firewalls, they have their DB, they have their applications, and they have many more security controls. So they want to basically, they have millions of customers and they want to go to Google Cloud, and before they go live, they want to test and see how the user experience is, whether the Google Cloud deployed applications can handle that kind of concurrency levels, concurrent users. So that is something we help those kind of customers. So this is a public cloud. We do have support on the private cloud where ESXi, CyberFlood runs on ESXi, and it runs on open source based KVM as well. Yeah, this is, I think, I have already discussed how we help customers to basically find the gaps and the vulnerabilities when we run different kind of traffic mixes, our active security assessment, how we can basically figure out the vulnerabilities and see what could be the remediation, right? When it comes to remediation, that is where we play a bigger role. We give remediation suggestions. The reason being, we develop TLS 1.3 stack. We develop many IPsec stack. We develop a SSL stack, right? So we have that expertise in-house. So with that expertise, if whenever we find vulnerabilities, we have a edge to basically recommend what is the best practices to be followed post scanning, basically. So this training is something I basically with combined with cyber flood as a traffic generator and attack generator, and we have our own orchestration and automation tool. All these solutions bundled together, we have a solution that is something similar to cyber range, where you can create any kind of scenarios to train the cyber security professionals, and then you can actually use that cyber range platform to validate any infrastructure as well. It comes in multiple flavors, only virtual or only physical, or it comes as a in the cyber range in the box also, where everything is built into one hard metal bare metal server. So these are the areas we basically cover. If you are really interested in the cyber range kind of cyber range kind of, if you want to know more about it, I can actually share. Maybe Grace or we can actually work together and share you the right materials so that you can actually look at it and see how it can help your organization. Yeah, this is also in line with what I have actually discussed on the security consulting division. Let me move. Yeah. So from Cyberflood is our flagship product. You can actually see application delivery controller or secure web gateway. There are many players in this one, right? Impava is there. Then you have McAfee, Blue Code. Then even in this domain, you have McAfee here. You have Palo Alto, Checkpoint, Fortinet. So many players are there. So all these vendors, they use our platform to basically validate their each and every features they implement, be it TLS 1.3 stack or HTTP 2.0 or 3.2 or quick protocol or whatever the new protocols they add, they use our platform to test it. Once they basically get validated, it goes to the deployment. I mean, it goes to the field, right? So we play a role even there as well, right? So each customer's profile is different. So this is actually tested in lab. So when it comes to field, right, there are so many vendors, right? Who plays best, and how one vendor is different from the other vendor. Which one is better for me, right? So there are so many questions come to mind, right? So how we can actually address all those and then get a clarity and clear differentiation between the vendors and the performance and the features, right? So if you look at this SD-WAN and SASE, right now the trend is actually moving towards this SASE. Network is also getting converged. At the same time, security infrastructure is also getting converged. If you look at Palo Alto or Versa Networks, right? So they are actually kind of, they are bringing in all the solutions into one. So there is a very clear need, right? When you actually integrate so many solutions together to basically to provide the access at edge level, right? Secure access, service edge, right? So that is where it's very important to basically test across all the blades. Like it could be your web traffic, or it could be your attack traffic, or it could be your plain SSL or HTTP traffic inspection, right? So all these things have to be actually tested if you are going for SASE based model. If you are actually adopting the SASE layer, or if you have a SD-WAN CPE device where there is a NFV running on it, where you want to basically validate, right? Whether it can basically support that many users, whether it is actually on par with all the firewall features. SD-WAN, when it comes to SD-WAN, the UCP is basically a very smaller appliance, right? So it has to be tested across many performance metrics. So that is where we play a role there, and we have good collaboration with SD-WAN vendors. We work with VMware, VeloCloud. We work with Versa Networks, and we work with other Viptala, Cisco's SD-WAN as well. So we have expertise on all these technologies. So if any enterprise who are actually going to adopt this model, definitely we are trusted partners for them to validate and tell them whether it is actually doing the job and it is basically meeting their requirements. So the other thing I wanted to highlight in this today's session is to basically what we have added something new from the earlier versions to this 2021, right? So as you can see, I have already discussed on this various kind of applications. When I say applications, these are TCP or UDP based applications. It could be data application, video application, or audio applications, right? Then you have CVE based attacks, which are very much crucial to basically to test any security solution to see whether actually it is actually vulnerability free. And this I have already discussed, right? All the security technologies which are actually very much necessary to create the tunnels between the users and the security gateway. You can see the standard IPsec standard. We follow RFC standard, but when it comes to SSL VPN, there is no standard as such. Each vendor, they use their own implementation. So we help vendor to validate. It can be open VPN based SSL solution, or the vendors, they implement their own SSLs, right? So if someone is buying a vendor's SSL VPN, we can help them validate whether the SSL VPN is actually capable enough to support that many users, and it is actually capable enough to stop all kind of attacks. Both Cyberflood and the other flagship product Avalanche both have complete API support, where once you devise the complete test plan, you can actually automate the whole flow, where in one click you get the results basically. If you want to run concurrency test, you give a run by actually running a script. In another half an hour, you get the report back. So this is something we have added new, that is actually MITRE attack. MITRE attack basically it creates attacks, attack vectors based on the MITRE framework. So when I say MITRE framework, it defines the TTP, right? Tactics, techniques, and procedures. So based on the definition from MITRE, we have the framework where the user can basically select, say, I want to basically inject a privilege escalation technique attack, or I want to basically data compromise. So many attack methods are there in this, right? So we have added this feature in 21.4, and evasion technique is also one of the key area where we have added it. Evasion is something like using different kind of fragmented attacks to get inside the network. So even this evasion techniques we have across IP layer, or even HTTP application layer as well. We have added a quite good number of evasion techniques to Cyberflood, and many attacks were actually going over plain text. Now the trend has changed. Many things are actually going over SSL. So you can actually select where if you are selecting 5 attack, you can actually select that option, enable SSL. When you enable SSL, all the attacks will be encrypted over SSL. So until or unless someone can read that SSL interception, they won't be able to read the attack, and it can still go through the device. So this is something we have added. It can be tested across any security solution. Yeah, just some of the screenshots from Cyberflood platform. You can, what you see is the UI, where you can see the pie chart of throughput with mixed traffic. So here you can actually, this is a chart where actually you can add different kind of applications. You can see SIP, HTTP, POP3, SMTP, Telnet. You can add Netflix, you can add Amazon, you can add any kind of application, streaming application, SaaS-based applications, cloud-hosted application. All the applications are already there in this platform. You can actually just put a Netflix and make 1 million users going through Netflix and then actually streaming the video, right? So you can actually recreate those kind of scenarios and see whether the device under test or the system under test can handle that kind of users at scale. In this scenario, you can actually add some more thing like if you want to basically group some of the users, right? Say like 500K users are actually having a different policy, and again 100K users are actually having a different policy. So this tool, this platform allows you to create a different subscriber policy. If someone is actually testing a DPI engine where there is a policy configured for different set of subscribers, right? So to test that kind of a policy, you need the test tool should be capable enough to create that kind of user traffic. So that is something you can create it by actually, if you look at this one, subnet 1, subnet 2, subnet 3, right? So inside subnet 1, you can actually put a subscriber type 1, subscriber type 2, subscriber type 3. So all these subscribers actually can go with a different traffic model. And then when they hit a DPI, that is when you get to know for a different kind of subscriber model, how the DPI behaves and what is the experience on the DUT, whether it is capable enough to handle those different subscriber models. So this is something actually you see after the run, you can see whether each attack is actually blocked or not blocked. The red one, what you see is basically not blocked. If it is blocked, this one is basically the one what I'm showing, right? These are all the attacks where you see the status, it shows actually blocked. This is actually the report, what you get after the test, post-run test. And for each run, you get the reports basically, like how the how you basically how the run has basically gone about it, and you can see the red ones are actually high priority issues, and then the yellow ones are medium priority ones. You can actually customize it and see the trend basically. For a single profile, if you're running for multiple iteration, it gets archived automatically. You can go back and see always actually, okay, between multiple runs, how it has really improved in the current build, whether it is really like improved or not. That is something you can actually compare. So this is the heart of the solution, which I have already highlighted. I'm not going to talk in detail. So if you have a custom application, right, or if you are actually seeing something which is really going bad, you can actually capture that the network trace, and then you can actually play it back. Or if some application that is running on a non-standard TCP port, right? So that is something you can actually capture it via a man in the middle proxy, or you can actually put a you can capture from the browser as a HTTP archive. So that is something we do have support. You can manipulate. You can actually take that custom traffic and custom different, I mean, pickup capture, and you can put it in the Cyberflood, and you can run it through the DUT to see whether you are able to reproduce the same issue. The same thing is applicable to the attacks also. We have some number of 5,000 attacks or 75,000 malwares, right? So it is not limited to only that number. If you want to modify that attack or a malware, you can download that and you can actually check the flow, and you can actually change the flow also. Whenever you basically go to each attack or application flow, it gives you the complete flow, how the client is basically going to talk to the server, and how the attack is actually going to happen between the client and the server. So you can download it. You can, once you know the actual flow, you can make modifications and see whether the DUT is actually capable enough to detect or block that extra modification, whatever you are trying to do. So if someone is actually trying to upgrade their setup to 1.3, right? 1.3, it comes with its own advantages. When it comes to 1.3, it supports many more ciphers or advanced ciphers with high rate data transfer. So if someone is basically adapting 1.3, right, server on the web server, we can definitely help them to validate whether it basically it supports all kind of cipher exchanges. On top of it, the high rate of data transfer, and many performance metrics like concurrent users and different kind of application flows that goes over HTTP TLS. So this is something actually we have come out with quite some time as a very first to market, actually, this 1.3 support. DDoS is a very traditional way where a lot of people, they keep launching a lot of attacks over internet. So we do have some level of support on anti-DDoS assessment, where we have stateless DDoS emulation and stateful protocol DDoS assessment also. We do support up to 100G interfaces. The appliance-based DDoS attack generator is something we have it. We have TCP-based attacks, and then the UDP-based attacks as well. Yeah, so I was talking about the fragment-based or the evasion techniques, right? You can see IP fragment-based attacks, then TCP segmentation attack, and then so this is something you can basically is a feature which you can actually enable or disable whenever you want to. Basically, you are actually devising an attack vector. On top of it, actually, you can enable this one, right? So when there is an attack happening, right? So this also comes into the picture, whether the evasion is basically kind of successful or not. So this is how the hacker really does the job, right? So we basically we keep developing the features which is actually in line with how a real attacker or how a real hacker tries to get access to the system. This I have already we have already discussed, right? Attacks over SSL, you can see that is also growing exponentially. Yeah, so this one is basically in the last release we have added this one. This is a zone-based security assessment. You can see when you can actually define the internet zone, data center zone, LAN zone, and a DMZ zone, right? So there are so many security solutions in place, and in each between the zones, you can actually configure the policy, right? On this one, you can configure internet zone, somebody coming from a data center to somebody coming from internet to data center, how the user has to be, whether he has to be allowed for so and so services or not. When someone is actually going from data center to internet, right? So all these vectors you can actually define, you can actually test it. This is very much close to what we see in enterprises, right? So this is something we have added new as a new feature to CyberFlood. Yeah, this one I was already discussing, right? MITRE framework got integrated into CyberFlood. You can see the TTP based framework, initial access, then execution. There are 34 techniques are there. Privilege escalation, 32 techniques are there. So you can actually come, you can, once you go inside, it gives you all the 1670 scenarios. You can pick whichever you want to run and see whether the device under test is capable enough to detect that attack, right? So this is something we have added it. As you can see, there is a MITRE attack execution 33, you can see over here. And the initial access, there are 5 scenarios. And this is how the report looks like. So you can, as you can see, there is only one scenario that got that got access, that went through. So it was not blocked by the firewall. So you can see, and this is something you can see, internet zone to Wi-Fi zone, right? So this is the vector definition. So somebody going from internet to Wi-Fi, then as you can see, corporate LAN to DMZ zone. So this is another vector. So it gives you a very intuitive UI to basically configure the topology, how you want the topology to look like, and you can actually define the attack plan and define the attack vector. And then when you run the test, it gives you all this the details, right from the source IP, destination IP. Then you can see the criticality of the attack, and then the status, whether it was able to make it or it was not able to make it. So that is the verdict it gives. Actually, the report is really very comprehensive. Maybe after this session, I can share some of the reports, whoever is interested. Yeah, the other key feature which we have added to CyberFlood platform is DLP, anti-DLP validation assessment. As you can see, yeah, there is something basically from internet to inside that is allowed, right? And there is something actually file zip is something allowed. It is basically it has been allowed. And when it comes to sensitive data, that should not go from your trusted network, private network to outside, so that it got blocked by the firewall. So when you configure all the DLP policies, you can actually test it with allowed content, Word document, and file type policy. You can create a zip file and see whether the policy is basically policy in place is really working or not. Infected content, you can actually add a bit more malware attacked PDF and see whether it is basically getting blocked from outside to inside, or it is basically allowed, right? And this is something like a credit card or social security number or any kind of confidential data. You can actually test it whether it is actually able to leak from inside to outside. So this is something we have it in the platform. If someone is basically deploying a DLP policy, maybe API based or active DLP validation, so they can definitely use our solution at a high scale. We can actually put all of them together at a very good high scale and see when multiple policies are put together, how the DUT is basically taking a judgment. That is something you can test it. So this one is basically to test an application at a very in-depth level. Say like for a HTTP web application, web server, right? You can actually configure each and every request, how many requests has to be sent, and you can configure how many. How the file transfer has to happen, whether it has to go through pipelining, persistent connection, whether it has to use cookie. So though so many configuration can be, this is something very complex test case. If someone wants to stress that web application server across different scenarios, so this is something, this is the test to go for actually. Advanced mixed traffic. I don't want to basically spend much time on this one, since it is more of a web application performance testing. So this one I have already discussed. If someone wants to basically assess how many IPsec tunnels can be established, and what about the what is the level of tunnel establishment rate, right, per second, how many tunnels can be established, and what is the total number of tunnels, and when you are actually changing the payloads also, right, with respect to IPsec tunnel, what is the throughput? So these three things, right? A tunnel setup rate, and then the how many concurrent tunnels, and then the throughput of IPsec tunnel. So these three are actually key performance criteria when it comes to IPsec assessment, right? So for SD-WAN assessment, or even for any other between the data center to data center, site to site IPsec assessment, our this platform, CyberFlood platform, the same platform can be used to assess IPsec, and the same platform also have SSL VPN as well. So this is something we have already discussed, right? CyberFlood can be deployed on GCP, Azure, and Amazon. And at the same time, you can actually deploy Cisco ASA firewall or any security control, and see configure all the policies and check whether they are really actually performing up to the mark, and the security efficacy is really higher or lower. That is something you can actually test it. This NetSec Open I have already discussed. So these are the security platforms what we have. We have all the form factors, right from virtual till the 100G interfaces. It depends actually. It depends on the requirement, what level of concurrent users you want to test it, and what level of data throughput you are looking at it, right? Based on that, we size the solution. So the VM comes in many flavors, like 1G or 10G interfaces. Then this C1 is actually mix of 1G and 10G. It's a hardware appliance. It's a very small portable appliance which you can actually carry to the field and do testing. If you want to do DDoS testing, you can do with this. And if you want to basically assess application, you can do with this. And if you want to assess a medium segment firewall, you can do with this. So this one is CF20. It has 1G up to 100G interfaces. This is a mid-segment platform where it supports up to 25 Gbps of 20 Gbps of SSL traffic, and 50 Gbps of HTTP. It handles 50 Gbps plain HTTP traffic. If you want to basically create a HTTP traffic and see how the network behaves, network or the device under test, you can actually use this platform. And this one is actually the next version. So this has more capability, and this supports up to 200 Gbps HTTP traffic, and close to 40 plus Gbps SSL traffic. And this one is actually C200. This is more towards this has a huge SSL crypto acceleration card. It has 2 cards, so it supports really good SSL based traffic. Yeah. So this one I have actually discussed. Any next gen firewall that is going to service provider grade, telco grade firewall, right, can be actually really tested and met for all those metrics. Say like if that firewall supports 50 plus SSL encrypted traffic, so that is something can be basically tested with this platform. So this is the traffic mix that we basically typically use. So this can be basically a daisy chain. You can stack up multiple appliances. If there is a setup that has basically that wants to test 3.5 TBPS of data can be actually tested with the 12 by racking up 12 chassis, and this is one rack unit appliance. So this is a comparison between all the appliances which I have already covered. What kind of speed options are available between the each appliances, and what level of cores, CP cores. When it comes to stateful traffic, it is more bound to the cores, right? So cyber flood, I think I'll just give a kind of a quick recap on what we have covered actually. HTTP3, advanced cyber security assessment, MITRE attack, zone-based assessment. All these have been actually added in the past 3 months. If someone wants to basically like have a look at it and try do a evaluation, we can always we are very open. We can actually give a eval version where you can actually test it and figure out how you can actually help 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 you in validating the security and performance. Yeah, when it comes to competition, it purely depends on the customer profile and the customer requirement, right? So we have different battle cards for different requirements. So I have just highlighted how we are actually what additional things we have than the Ixia or Keysight. We have this anti-DLP assessment, zone-based assessment, more coverage on evasion techniques. So these are the things we already have. C200, we have added really higher crypto handshakes. We fare better than the competitor. And when it comes to Viavi, their TerraVM compared to that, we have all the features added to CyberFlood. And NetSec Open is something, it's already, we are part of the consortium. So the whole test cases are already available on that. Yeah, in the beginning itself, I think I have covered on the security labs. As I was actually mentioning, we cover network, wireless, web application, mobile application, and the devices also. Right. So when it comes to security assessment, right? So ours is basically SaaS-based platform, on-demand platform, where we have a portal where customer can basically do automatically. They can run the scan. If they want to run a web application scan, they can do it. If they want to run a mobile application scan, they can upload the code and then they can actually do it. And if they want to do a penetration testing, it is more of a manual job than automatic scanning, right? So for all auto scanning or managed scanning, they can use our portal. So these are the vectors, sector we are actually really strong at. When it comes to finance sector, where they have a payment gateway validation, or a technology sector, like where there is a different kind of transport protocols being used, and they want to basically see whether they are vulnerability free, where we have some use case, successful cases. And when it comes to hospitality, there are medical devices that are getting hacked, right? So we have success cases in hospitality. And when it comes to government, the railway transport, where we have done successful assessment, right? When it comes to automotive car, we have done assessment on connected car, hacking a connected car. We have success cases across all these sectors. And this is the high level overview of attack vectors: web application, mobile application, network and wireless, then embedded devices. This is what we cover as part of penetration testing. I can share this details later. And our SaaS based portal, this is where actually you see all these features are available in the SaaS portal itself. You can see web application, network scanning, source code scanning, and end of the test, it gives you the trend basically, right? Over a period of time, like Jan, Feb, March, for all the monthly runs, how the infrastructure is really faring with respect to each iteration. So that is something the CISO can really look at and see where he wants to make the investment. So this one is actually the credential what our security labs consultants have. These are some of the industry best certifications to have for any security consultants. So with that, I think I have taken a couple of more minutes to basically complete it. So yeah, so for any needs, right, like be it cloud migration from on-prem to cloud migration, if they want to validate the performance or security efficacy, we are there to help. And when it comes to active security assessment for banks or any enterprises or a telco, we are there to help. Even for any 5G core security assessment, we are there actually. So in a nutshell, anything to do with the security testing, Spirent is one partner that caters to many domains and sectors. If you want to basically see, if you want to know specific use cases that we address, or if you want to know specific success stories, I can definitely share you the details. And if you want to know more about any specific thing, I can share that as well. And if you're interested in evaluating our solution, we are very happy to basically help you. And with ABEX, we can definitely help you to uh, uh, start your journey with Spirent, basically. So that is the end of the session.